had some plans, and it was a Friday, and we were planning on doing some things. And I woke up that morning, and I just said, you know what? I feel like I need to go to the hospital and see Quincy. I said, I don't know why. I said, I just feel like, the Lord wants me to go down there and see him. And I know, I even talked to him. I said, well, Quincy's doing great. He's doing fantastic. Last time I saw him, he was sitting up, walking around. Everything was good. And, so I don't know why I got to go see him. But I said, okay, well, let me just be obedient. I went down there, and Quincy walked in there, and he was in his bed, and he was saying, oh, Pastor, it's so good to see you. So good. So thank you so much for coming down to see me. And so I sat there for a minute. He says, Pastor, let me tell you what I'm doing. Matter of fact, I forgot about this until this very moment right here. He pulled out his address book. And he said, Pastor, I'm going down the line. I called all of my friends and even my enemies. And he says, I asked them to forgive me for anything I've ever done to them. And also, I let them know that I have forgiven them for whatever they've done to me. I didn't know how to respond. I was like, oh man, that's great. Wow, that's pretty cool. We talked a little bit more, and I prayed for him and said, hey man, you'll be home in no time. I was Friday morning about 11 o'clock. That night, my phone rings, and Quincy died. And I keep coming back to that moment that was something that Quincy understood. That he understood that his life was short, that one day he was going to stand before God. He didn't know when it was going to be, but he said, I want all my accounts clear. I want them to know that I'm a man of God and that I offer forgiveness, and I want forgiveness because this is what God would want in my life. And somehow, in those last moments, Quincy got it. Who is it in your life that you need to demonstrate the forgiveness of Jesus Christ? You belong to him, and you've received the forgiveness from him that is infinite, that can never be repaid, and God has lavished his forgiveness upon us. And God is saying that there's, no matter what anybody has done for you, even though it may be a hard process, and even though you may need to work through it, and even though there may be some issues, and maybe you have to repeat the cycle over and over again, God still wants us to be people of forgiveness. So I want to challenge you that to reflect upon God's infinite forgiveness for you and begin the process of forgiving those who have offended you, whether they deserve forgiveness or not. I'm going to ask that the ushers will come at this time. And if you are a first-time visitor to Kensington, don't worry about trying to put anything in there. You are our guest today, and we're just glad that you came. If you're a regular attender of Kensington, you understand how this goes, that you are not giving to Kensington, you are giving unto the Lord. And because you give unto the Lord through Kensington, a number of things can be done with global partners, just like Julius was here sharing about the water projects in Kenya. Your giving helps to get the Word of God out and also helps to be able to meet the needs of people all around the globe.